Complex fraction is nothing more than a fraction being divided by a fraction. So when you have something like this for letter A, don't let that freak you out. Take it step by step. Remember, a fraction bar means division. Okay, so what you really have here is you have 37 and a half being divided by 100 over 1. I know that doesn't make it look any better. So let's take 37 and a half and turn it into an improper fraction. Okay, so 37 times 2 gives us 74. 74 plus 1 is 75. So we have 75 over 2 divided by 100 over 1, right? But remember, we don't divide fractions. We multiply by the reciprocal. So we have 75 over 2 times 1 over 100. So what I have now, and I can cross cancel to make my number smaller. Divide both of these by 25. I can get 4 here and 3 here. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. So my answer would be 3/8. Back to black. Scroll down. Letter B. It says 12 divided by, what is that? 5/6. Let me show you what it looks like when I write it as a fraction being divided by a fraction. What I really have is 12 over 1, right? Over 5 divided by 6. Okay, 12 over 1 divided by 5 over 6. We don't divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. So 12 over 1 times 6 over 5. You can't really see them all right. I can't really cross cancel anywhere, so I'm just going to multiply straight across, which equals 12 times 6 is 72. 5 times 1 is 5. That gives me, let's see. Five goes into 72. How many times? 14. 14 times 5 and 2/5. Okay. Letter C. 2/5 divided by 2/3. So again, just fraction being divided by a fraction, and we never really divide fractions, so we can rewrite this as 2/5 being multiplied by 3 over 2. What's nice about this one, if we check for cross canceling, is these 2's will reduce to 1's, right? So when I do the multiplication across, 1 times 3 gives me a product of 3, and 5 times 1 gives me a product of 1. So once you see that the complex fraction is nothing more than a division problem, and you rewrite it that way, it's much more, I was going to say aesthetically appealing, but it's easier on the eyes, right? This problem, 2/5 times 3 over 2, is a lot more, it's easier to handle than this complex fraction. Letter D. Now they want you to take 66 2/3% and turn it into a fraction. So remember that every percentage is out of 100, right? So you're going to take 66 2/3 and divide it by 100. Well, that looks a lot like the problem that we first started with, right? So what I'm going to do is take 66 2/3 and turn it into a mixed number. So 3 times 66. 3 times 66 plus 2 gives me 200 over 3 divided by 100 over 1. Now I have a problem that looks like the one we just did. So I can rewrite that as 200 divided by 3 times 1 over 100. Okay. If I look for cross-canceling opportunities, I can divide, or I can factor out or divide both of these by 100. That becomes a 1. That becomes a 2. Okay. And when I multiply across, 2 times 1 gives me a product of 2. 3 times 1 gives me a product of 3. Letter E, 8 1/3%. Again, so 8 1/3% divided by 100. I'm going to start with a problem like I did in the very first one. I'm going to rewrite 8 1/3 as a mixed, not as a mixed number, I'm sorry, as an improper fraction. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25 over 3 over 100 over 1. Now I have a complex fraction. Take that and rewrite it as a multiplication problem. 25 over 3 times 1 over 100. Look for cross canceling. Divide both of these by 25. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4. Multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Last but not least, letter F. I have 4 1/6%. I'm going to rewrite this as an improper fraction. 4 times 6 is 25. 24 plus 1 is 25 over 6. So 25 over 6 out of 100 out of 1. Rewrite this as a multiplication problem. 25 over 6 times 1 out of 100. Look for cross canceling. Divide them both by 25. Multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 6 is 24.